What is your feeling at the end of this draft? You were not chosen.
Uh, I can't really explain the feeling, but it's not a good feeling. Obviously, I really worked hard and really did my best to get here, but it's what happened, and I believe God has better plans for me, and just gonna keep on going, and I won't stop.
What is your feeling at the end of this draft? You were not chosen.
Uh, I can't really explain the feeling, but it's not a good feeling. Obviously, I really worked hard and really did my best to get here, but it's what happened, and I believe God has better plans for me, and just gonna keep on going, and I won't stop.
What
Gretchen?
is what is going on through your mind right now? I mean, with everything, tell us your experience tuning in with the draft. Are you with your whole family?
Yes, I'm with my whole family. Yeah. And
Oh,
yeah, we had dinner and then we just watched the draft together.
okay, Kai. We know that you went through a series of pre-draft workouts before this, and we also learned that you got a sprain in the middle of those workouts. Did you feel at some point medyo naalanganin ka dahil dun sa injury na yon? And ano yung nakutuban mo with all of your workouts combined?
I think a sprained ankle. I think it's a little 50-50. I think my part na napasama and my part naman na okay lang. Pero about the workouts, I think I got better from start to finish. And I feel like I know that I really learned a lot from all the workouts and all the feedbacks from the teams, and it was a really good and really good learning experience.
We want to ask Joel Bell. Joel, right after Kai Sotto had his low ankle sprain and he was out of commission for 10 days, he missed out on a lot of workouts. He missed out on the Spurs, on the Suns, the Texas teams. But then he came back to do workouts with the Kings, with the Clippers, and the Pacers. Tell us what happened right after that sprain incident, and how did you feel things were going leading towards the draft?
Well, yeah, injuries happen. It's just part of the profession. Obviously, the sprained ankle, we had to cancel some interviews. It was a setback. It was a setback in his training. Even when he had recovered and was able to work out, he had missed 7 to 10 days of training. So that's never a great thing. But he did great. He really showed a lot of heart, and he had good workouts. The basic feeling in the NBA was he needs to get stronger to play in the NBA. He helped himself in this process here. He showed a lot of offensive ability, basketball IQ, passing ability. People thought he was a better athlete than they gave him credit for. Seeing him in person, they were impressed by that. They said he needed to get bigger, stronger, which we knew that going in. I think a lot of people here don't really understand exactly what this whole draft and stash thing is. Kai had a couple opportunities, and we discussed it as a team. He had a couple opportunities where teams said, listen, we'll draft you, but we don't want you to come right now. We want to hold your rights. We want to stash you on a team outside the United States. And that's generally a pretty bad idea. And what the audience and the basketball public needs to understand is, I'll give you two examples here. Let's look at the player who was drafted last in the draft. Besson, who played also in Australia. That team now owns his rights forever. He can't talk to other teams. If he wants to play in the NBA, He's got to talk only to that team. That team has all the leverage. If they don't have a spot for him, they can say, we don't have a spot for you. And there's nothing he can do about it. He's stuck with that team. By not being drafted in a year when Kai is going to be stronger and obviously more marketable NBA teams, and he got a lot of people intrigued this year, we can talk to all 30 teams. He's an unrestricted free agent. It's much better to be able to talk to 30 teams than to be locked into one team. I think anybody can see that. You know, there's a general feeling on draft night, oh, you got to have your name called. Well, that's true if you're going to be in the top 10 for sure, okay? But to be locked into a team and have them have your rights and they don't want you now and they may not ever want you is generally a pretty horrible idea. And Kai and his team made a very sophisticated, intelligent decision and said, no, we don't want to do the draft and stash. And, you know, teams will ask you before they do that because they need you to cooperate. And that's what we told them. So we had a couple opportunities for that. We had a couple opportunities that I knew of during the season in Australia where teams said, yeah, well, hey, we'll draft them. You know, if you guys will do that. And I told them, well, I'll get back to them. They didn't have to make any decisions in February or March. But that's kind of how it went. But Kai had a good draft process. He showed a lot of things to teams, and he's going to be heavily on the radar for these teams in this coming year.
Moving forward, Joel, do you think Kai will be attending some camps?
Well, Kai has expressed
moving towards the league season opening.
Yeah, I've already gotten several summer league invites for him, but Kai's decided to play with the Filipino national team. That's his commitment, and you know, he's very dedicated toward Filipino things, Filipino pride, Filipino activities. So he's going to pass up summer league and play with the Filipino national team. And it'd be nice, let me just say this here, it'd be nice if the people of the Philippines respected him for that. I mean, I see so much garbage when it's not true. It'd be nice if someone said, hey, here's a guy who's stepping up for his country. So maybe we ought to applaud him for that.
Well, that's tremendous. Gretchen, you have a question?
I guess picking up from that, if Kai is not going to join the summer league, what would now be your game plan for him to be able to get to the NBA again? Because I believe there are several options on the table, including a two-way contract, an Exhibit 10, a 10-day contract. Which of those are you considering for Kai?
Sure. We're not going to do two-way contracts. We're not going to do G League, Exhibit 10 contracts, any of that. Kai's going to, at this point, and, you know, we always talk, and, you know, this could change, but at this point, the plan is for him to go to a non-North American team. He could go back to Australia. There's some other teams in Europe that are interested. He's going to develop wherever he goes. He's going to have a personal agility coach, a personal strength coach, because those are things that he's going to really work hard to improve upon with the rest of his game. And I think that, you know, in the following season, he'll be in the NBA.
Why go down that route instead of taking on these special contracts in the NBA?
I didn't hear the question. You broke up. Could you repeat that, please?
Sorry. Why go down that route of going to North America or to Australia instead of taking on the special contracts, which, of course, we know several known players to be going down that lane?
Sure. With a two-way contract, you're not going to play very much. He needs to play. You're just not going to play very much unless there's a bunch of injuries or something unusual happens. You're the 16th or 17th guy on a team, and you just don't play that much. So he needs to play. So that's a reason right there that he wouldn't do that.
Well, we understand, Joel, that the consensus among a lot of NBA scouts and coaches is that Kai is ready to play in the NBA as an offensive player, but it's his defense that he may need to work on. So that's half the battle won, so to speak.
Well, you know, he's unbelievably gifted offensively. It's not just the shooting and the scoring, it's the passing and the basketball IQ. And he needs to get stronger. Kai knows that. We knew that going in. We knew it in March. We know it in June. So there's nothing new there. And, you know, a lot of 20-year-olds that are 7'3" or 7'4" need to get stronger.